What's up, friends? If you're thinking about buying a FedEx route business or any business for that matter, I want to share with you something that I've noticed over the last 10 or 15 years of evaluating these deals with people. And one of the things I see happen more often than not is whenever I work with someone, a lot of times they think that finding the problems in the business and determining a solution is a very good evaluation method. And on one side, that sort of intuitively sounds right. It's actually kind of wrong. And let me just sort of explain to you why that's the case with a scenario. So I was working with a guy a while back, and we were looking at this deal, and we discovered that, hey, there's some service failures in this business. Wow, good for us. We figured out what the problem was, bring it to the seller, and the seller says, yeah, the problem is my drivers are missing pickups. So every FedEx route has two pieces. One is that you deliver packages. The other piece is that you go around, you pick up packages, you bring them back to the terminal for shipment. So point is, his drivers are missing pickups. He says, yeah, you got me, but, really what we need to do is just train these guys better to where they know to be able to pick up their packages. And I'm not very good at training. I don't, I'm kind of like semi-absentee on this. I don't have time to go by the terminal and figure this out to train these guys, but I'm sure you're going to do great. You seem like a great trainer. And like the guy I'm working with, he's like, yeah, I know how to like teach a lot of systems and processes. I think I can do this. I'm like, that doesn't matter. Like, we need to think about what the root of the problem is, not just what the problem is, because, hey, maybe we do need to train, but what is the root of this problem? Why has this problem popped up to begin with? Well, it's not that they needed training. The issue is that they were overwhelmed. They were overwhelmed, and they can't physically get over to the other side of town to make those pickups, and they miss them. And so it's not about training them. They know that they need to do it. Like, training them for 50 hours isn't going to help. They're just overwhelmed. And so what happens is a lot of sellers want you to think that they're just idiots. Like, and granted, like maybe some of them are, but the majority of them are not. They want you to think that they're idiots so they can get away with a lot of this kind of crap and telling you, oh, you're going to figure out all these solutions. Oh, you're so smart and great. Oh, everything's going to be wonderful. I'm just a knuckle dragging fool. Like, again, maybe it's true. More often than not, it's not true. And so when we find the root of these problems, then we can start to say, well, what's the real solution? Well, the real solution is to hire another driver, buy another truck, which means your expenses go up and your net income goes down. And so that's why he hasn't done it. It's not that he doesn't know how to train. It's that he knows that's not the real answer. Same thing happened for someone that was like, look, the reason why my routes aren't very profitable is I've let my guys, just sort of bully me a little bit. They get back at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm afraid to really tell them to work harder. The reality in that situation is that the drivers couldn't work harder. Now, what was happening is the guy that I was working with in that scenario, he's like, hey man, I know how to get some productivity out of these guys. I'm going to work them. I'm not afraid to tell people to work 6, 7, 8 o'clock. I've been used to working those hours, and I'm going to have them work harder. I'm a bully. So yeah, you could do that, and maybe that would work. But again, it's not the root of the problem. And when we started to dig into this deal correctly, looking at the roots, we determined that the reason why they were getting back at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon is because their trucks were completely full and they were delivering everything. And so the solution isn't, hey, work harder. It's like, dude, more packages don't fit on my freaking truck. Like, it doesn't matter how hard I work. It's like, well, can we get the trucks any bigger? Fit more stuff? No, we can't. They're already as big as they come. So how do we get this thing to work hard? How do we get more productivity, more revenue out of this thing if the guys are already delivering a completely full truck? Oh, the contract's jacked up. Contract doesn't pay enough to be able to make this thing really worthwhile. We've got to negotiate with FedEx. We've got to change things around. All sorts of stuff, right? So the point is that if you are just looking at problems and you're patting yourself on the back when you find those problems and you're thinking that you know the solution, you need to back up and think about what the root of those problems may be. And when we see that, then you're going to be able to say, oh, I can solve this problem, or I want to solve this problem, or I don't want to, or whatever it may be. And you're going to start to make decisions infinitely better than the typical evaluator that goes out there and says, oh, I found a problem and I think I know the solution. Maybe that's a real solution. Maybe it's not. And in the case of FedEx contractors, a lot of times the solutions that they want you to believe, oh, we just need to change the trucks around. Oh, we just need to work these guys harder. It's BS. You got to find the root. And then once you find that, then you can start making some very, very good decisions with a very good evaluation process. So anyway, hopefully this helps a bit. Take care. Talk soon. Bye-bye.